Hey wealth builders, welcome to this new video. Today, we're going to talk about an absolutely incredible financial opportunity that has gone unnoticed by most of us. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you want to know how to make your money work without thinking about it. But before we dive in, I have a question for you. How did you discover this video? Drop a comment with the country you're watching from. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. So, what's going on in the world of investors and millionaires who are managing to create passive income while we sleep? Well, let me reveal a secret that many people don't know. In this video, you'll discover a method that top investors use to grow their capital while avoiding the classic mistakes. But before we dive into the heart of the topic, let me tell you about a tool that can transform your financial security. It's called Safe Invest, a platform that, just like a digital shield, protects your investments and ensures your financial data stays safe from prying eyes. Just like you, I'm an experienced investor, always on the lookout for the best opportunities, and I can tell you that security is number one when it comes to growing your wealth. Safe Invest helps you track your investments, protect yourself from fraud, and navigate the complex financial world without worrying about online threats. The best part is you can try their service for less than $3 per month, and I've included a link in the description to take advantage of an exclusive offer. But back to what you're really here for, the secrets of millionaires. In 2024, there's been a major shift in how investors are generating passive income. It all started with a simple question. Why do some people seem to have a constant cash flow effortlessly, while others struggle to make ends meet? The answer lies in a type of investment often overlooked by the general public: startups in niche markets. These investors understand that the growth potential of small businesses in underappreciated sectors is massive. But that's not all. We're going to break down how these investment opportunities are becoming accessible to everyone, even those who are starting from scratch. But how does it work exactly? Let me explain with a concrete example. Imagine you invest in a company that develops innovative technology for sustainable farming in West Africa. This company received 2 million euros in funding in 2023 and is expected to generate 10 million euros in revenue by 2027 simply by addressing the urgent need for sustainability. You invest 5,000 euro today, and in 5 years, your 5,000 euros is worth 25,000 euros. But why are these investments so attractive? Because markets like sustainable farming, artificial intelligence applied to agriculture, or companies developing clean energy solutions are booming. Of course, there are risks, but as all investors know, without risk, there's no reward. The secret is to surround yourself with the right people, analyze the opportunities, and understand the market fundamentals. And as always, the big investors know that preparation makes all the difference. Those who succeed are those who invest in niches before they explode. So why wait for everyone to rush in when you can be the first to invest? But be careful, there are mistakes to avoid. One of the biggest mistakes is rushing into an investment without truly understanding the market. Many novice investors are seduced by promises of quick profits, but don't realize that every investment should be strategic, well thought out, and often long-term. So how do you avoid this mistake? First off, never put everything into one investment. Diversification is key. Even if you feel ready to invest, take the time to truly understand the sectors you're putting your money into. There are incredible opportunities, but they require thoughtful decision-making. The first signs of a recession or a bearish market might make you run for the hills, but it's exactly in those moments that savvy investors turn the market into their gold mine. Results speak for themselves. Those who invested in sectors like renewable energy, emerging technologies, or sustainable agriculture have seen their portfolios soar. Why? Because they understood the timing. They saw the trends and made sure their money was working for them, even while they slept. In 2024, there's no room for those who hesitate. Serious investors know that the key to success is making informed decisions and always being ready to adapt to market changes. In this video, we're going to talk about the strategies that have allowed some to achieve complete financial freedom. But how do these investors do it? What's the difference between those who succeed and those who fail? That's exactly what we'll discover in this series. Sticker. If you're still here, it means you're serious about making a difference with your investments. We're getting to the next part soon, but in the meantime, think carefully about these tips. I promise they'll guide you to your first big success. If you're still with us, it means you're serious about transforming your financial situation, and I commend you for that. As promised, we're going to dive deeper into the strategies of investors who manage to navigate uncertain times and come out on top. But before we continue, a quick reminder. Subscribe to the channel if you want your money working while you sleep. We're talking about practical advice and tips that many people ignore, but those who succeed know very well. This isn't just a video. It's a gateway to your financial future. Now, back to the smart investors. What do they do differently from the rest? Why do they manage to profit when the market seems to be sinking into confusion? The answer is simple. They adopt a systematic and diversified strategy. They never let their emotions dictate their investment decisions. Unlike those who panic at the slightest fluctuation, savvy investors understand that uncertainty is part of the game. Let's take cryptocurrency as an example. In 2021, many investors panicked when Bitcoin dropped by 50% in just a few months. But those who understood the long-term potential of these digital assets seized the opportunity to buy at a low price. Today, those who kept their cool have seen their investments soar, making huge gains. Those who panicked not only lost money, but also missed a chance to change their financial future. It's the same in traditional sectors like real estate or stocks. For example, in 2023, a crisis rocked the real estate market due to rising interest rates, but smart investors took advantage of the price drop to acquire undervalued properties. These properties quickly gained value, as they were able to seize the opportunity at the right time. Again, the key to success lies in timing and patience. But that's not all. Another trait of smart investors is their ability to spot trends before they become popular. Want an example? Green energy. Everyone is talking about solar, wind, and renewable energy, but investors who saw the value of these technologies back in 2015 have made fortunes. The idea isn't to follow the crowd, but to see what the crowd will follow in the future. That's why they're ahead, and you can be too. Look at how big tech companies continue to dominate the market, even when economic crises strike. These companies invest heavily in research and development to constantly innovate. They understand that innovation is the key to resilience. A smart investor doesn't just look at a company's past performance. They assess its ability to reinvent itself. Take Tesla as an example, which struggled to meet production targets in its early years, but succeeded in positioning itself as a leader in the electric vehicle market. Investors who believed in Tesla in its early years have made monumental gains. So what about now? If you want to maximize your chances of success, closely watch emerging sectors and think about what could be tomorrow's Tesla. However, diversification remains one of the fundamental principles of any successful investment portfolio. Too many investors focus on a single sector or asset, thinking they can predict the future with certainty. But no one can predict the future accurately. That's why it's essential to diversify your investments, choosing sectors that can offer solid returns while reducing overall risk. Here's another mistake many investors make. They don't protect their investments against risk, whether through diversification or using tools like options or derivatives to hedge. Savvy investors know that protection is just as important as growth. If you put all your money into one investment, even a gold opportunity, you're taking unnecessary risk. And that's where financial education comes in. It's not just about reading books or following videos like this one. No, continuous learning, acquiring new skills, and constantly updating your investment strategy are crucial to your success. Those who succeed in the investment world never stop learning. In 2024, the rise of smart technologies and startups combining AI and blockchain is reshaping the investment landscape. If you know where to look, you can discover companies that are still in their early stages but have exceptional growth potential. Savvy investors also know they must be ready to pivot when a strategy stops working. Adaptability is key. Sometimes a business or sector may turn out to be a failure, despite all the positive analysis at the start. But the best investors know that this is an opportunity to learn and redirect their focus to new opportunities. Speaking of opportunities, passive income is also an interesting avenue for diversifying your investments. If you haven't explored this route yet, it's time to pay attention. Whether it's through rental real estate investments, dividend stocks, or even peer-to-peer lending projects, there are plenty of ways to generate income without having to be constantly on the lookout. And guess what? It's the passive strategies that allow many investors to sleep soundly at night, knowing their finances are in good hands. Sticker. So, are you also ambitious enough to become an informed investor? Remember, patience and preparation are the keys. But are you ready to do what it takes to change your financial life? And now, here we are at the final step of this video, and I'm thrilled to have guided you through these concepts that I hope will help you make informed decisions in your investment journey. If you've stuck with me this far, it means you're really ready to transform your financial situation, and I commend you for that. But before I let you go, there are a few crucial points to remember and concrete actions you can start taking today. First, you've probably noticed a common thread in all the advice I've shared: diversification. This principle is non-negotiable. Big investors never put all their eggs in one basket, and neither should you. You see, diversification helps spread risk and maximize potential returns. If you haven't yet diversified your portfolio, now is the time to start. But how? A simple and effective way is to include a mix of stocks, real estate, cryptocurrencies, and investments in emerging companies. It all depends on your investor profile and risk appetite. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes investors often make: not anticipating market changes. The global economy is constantly shifting, and what works today might not work tomorrow. The COVID-19 pandemic showed us just how vulnerable the market can be to sudden disruptions. But some investors understood this well before anyone else. Look at tech companies and digital platforms, which saw massive growth during the pandemic. Investors who had bet on these sectors early on reaped the rewards. But it's not enough to just be reactive. You have to be proactive. The key lies in understanding what's coming before it happens. There's an old saying in investing: buy in fear, sell in euphoria. It might seem counterintuitive, but those who succeed are the ones who know how to seize opportunities when everyone else panics. This means if a sector or market is struggling right now, it might be the right time to invest, as long as you properly evaluate the situation and have a long-term view. One of the best examples of this is renewable energy. While many sectors struggled, solar, wind, and other forms of green energy continue to attract significant investments because they are aligned with the future trend of energy transition. If you haven't looked into these sectors yet, now is the time to pay attention. Investments in renewable energy projects could not only yield long-term returns, but also provide significant benefits in terms of passive income. But beyond these specific sectors, there's one thing millionaires understand: the mindset. The mindset of a successful investor is critical. It's about being resilient in the face of setbacks, learning from mistakes, and always moving forward. If you hit a roadblock, don't see it as a failure, but as a lesson that will make you stronger and wiser. The path to financial freedom isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Perseverance is key. And here's one more thing I want you to understand. Your money isn't going to work on its own. It has to be directed wisely. That's why passive income is a major asset. But how do you make your money work while enjoying your everyday life? Whether it's by buying rental properties, investing in dividend-paying stocks, or exploring projects in emerging sectors, the goal is to make sure your money works for you while you focus on other aspects of your life. Passive income is, for many, the path to financial freedom. If you haven't yet invested in income-generating assets, now is the time to take concrete steps toward it. I know it may feel intimidating at first, but let me tell you, there's no better time to start than now. You don't need to be an expert to make smart decisions. All you need is good preparation, basic knowledge, and a willingness to succeed. Finally, I'll leave you with a small piece of advice. Don't be afraid to seek advice from experts. Surround yourself with people who know what they're doing. If you want to go further, consider consulting with a financial advisor or joining investor forums to discuss ideas. But above all, never stop learning. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you feel ready to explore the opportunities ahead of you. Subscribe if you really want to make your money work for you. And if you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave them in the comments. Remember, The road to financial freedom starts with small steps. Take yours today.